Hello and welcome in to the latest episode of the SorareAndrews podcast. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined as always by Andy Black, Black on Sorare. Today, we thought we were talking about one thing, Andy. Sounds like we may be talking about another, and yet we don't have to change the topic.
Nope. Lovely.
Excuse me, I don't have to change the title.
Right, yeah.
Thank you to everyone for joining us. It has been a while, I feel like, since we've had one of these Thursday announcements just before our stream, which we were getting a few weeks in a row. I feel like it was like, hey, come hang out with us, find out what the news is, and digest it with us. And this hasn't been out for a while, but from what I gather, people slightly disagree with what Sorare announced today.
Yeah, I think I don't think I've seen anybody that was like, wow, that was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, we never get that, to be honest. There's never like a time where I think the only time people were happy were when they announced the thresholds in other scarcities other than rare, and everyone was like, yay! And then they kept reading about like how you actually get it, and they were like, wait a minute, that's not the same thing we were asking for, and then it quickly spiraled out of control. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Hudson came in 38 minutes early to say classic Sorare announcement before the show to completely derail the original topic, which is true. That is exactly what happened. And Mike Baston, hello. Scosmo very aptly named show this, which again, we were going to talk about something completely differently. Maybe we'll just save that for another time. We'll see. We've got Ricardo here. Misaki, hello. Sorare Wakey. Shaforkle is here. Fling Flong. ZM Star. Everyone's here. Everyone is coming out to hang out. Thank you to everyone for coming. Please hit that like button. Oh my God, I'm like still scrolling comments here. I mentioned, Andy, that there were 14 comments before we started, or 14 comments in the chat, which is a little more than we usually get. So I feel like everyone is fired up to see us.
How do you think, I'm going to jump right in. How do you think Pal Trader feels about this?
So I think there are two things that people are upset about. One of which I think he has every right to be upset about, but we also knew he was going to be upset about it. Like I think
the market fee?
The market fees, yeah.
Market fees have been coming for however long. We knew it was coming. He can be mad. Unjustified. Market fees were coming.
I think so, and I said this to you a few minutes ago, seconds even, that I think anyone who thought the market fees would be less than 5% were just kidding themselves. That we saw 5% in NBA, we see 5% in MLB. Our good friend Kaiser did point out, though, that in the announcement, it very clearly states that the 5% fee is subject to league and club exceptions, which could result in lower or no sales fees, unquote. I don't believe it, but
No, I 100% believe it, but it'll be like the one team they have in Switzerland or something. Be like that team said they don't want the fees.
Yeah. Somehow there's a club out there who's like, you keep the money.
Germ said unlicensed cards. That's a good point right there. So there'll be guys that's good shout. Good shout.
That is a Germ has been killing it lately. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
On a whole bunch of things. So Germ, thank you for that. I like this, Charlie. Imagine a no EPL taxes for the next week. I like that we're calling it a tax now. I love it. But anyway, 5% was always going to happen. And everyone's like, this isn't a good time. Whenever it like started coming out, everyone's like, this isn't a good time. We should do it. There's never a good time. There's never going to be a point where they're like, hey, we got to introduce the 5% fee. And we're all like, okay, times are good. Time. You're right. Yeah. That's fine. So I appreciate that everyone's going to be angry, but the whole, like the timing is that there's never a good time. So just stand back up and we move on. So I really loved everyone's ideas of like how to get around it. And they were like, this is going to lead to a lot of off-site transactions. And I'm like, you're definitely going to trust somebody you do not know and hope that that money hits your wallet, or that they send that card when you send your money.
Yeah. And I mean, there's marketplaces. There's other marketplaces too, but those all have fees as well. So
they do.
Enjoy.
They do. Mike Baston, I like this line. Highest degree of fuckwittery from headquarters today. Maybe they've been indulging in 420 day just a little too much. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So the other people that I really enjoy are those who are like, they're obviously going to do the 5% fee and then raise the threshold because that's where the money's going to go, as opposed to just in their pockets. So I don't think that's coming either. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to like get through the long list of comments here in the chat. So, Surface. If they update the title mid-pod, does it invalidate the current stream? Well played, sir. Well played. We'll get to, what is it? Lister play? Is that what they called it?
Yeah, you know what? That reminds me of like when you go to like Dave and Buster's, it's like play and eat. It's the play and eat special. So now we have the Sorare's got their, I don't know, whatever they want to call that.
Where's the Dave and Buster sponsorship when you need it for this show? Dave, right. Buster, if you're watching, if you could please get in touch here. Alex Wilson.
Were those like brothers or something that came up with that company? Like I've never even
Dave and Buster?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to Google that after the stream.
I was going to say, but I actually might just start saying it.
Can look that up for us.
I'll just say that they are brothers. Alex, they really do know when to time these crap announcements. There's never a good time for a crap announcement. But just before SorareAndrews feels like a pretty good time. Just, it will allow us to talk about it. Germ, you don't always have to screw people. Sorare said, why not? Thank you, everyone. Hoodwink's stepping out of Discord for a bit. Actually, before that, thank you to Hoodwink, who I tagged in Discord earlier today and hit me up with some of that sweet K-League knowledge that I now need because I'm a K-League shark. Blue Tomato says he doesn't know the news yet. Andy, you want to break it to them?
I don't even know how to say it. There's a
list or play.
I need to read it.
Yeah, we can read it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still trying to get them to like 6 minutes behind. Mark says the announcement came 20 days too late. What happened 20 days ago?
April Fools.
That's why you're here, guys. Nobody cares, Metal Gear, how Pavel feels. 5% fees are by far the best part of the announcement. That's actually...
I disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we can get into that later.
Yeah, we will, because I'm curious to hear what you think is positive in this announcement. Paraskill says market fees are okay if they give some ETH back in the price pool. Just don't think
not happening.
Jonathan B says football is a completely different game than NBA and MLB. That's true. They can make a lot more money with football. Jonathan B says it was the worst Sorare edition in the last year and a half.
You've taken one ETH out. How long before that one ETH goes back in?
To do what with it? What are you going to do with it? Like, what are you going to do with an ETH not on Sorare? I don't get it. Tevin says the lister play rule makes no sense. How is it beneficial? We'll get into that. Scosmo, special weekly lister play tournament. Cards entered eligible to be listed on the marketplace. That's kind of fun too. Misaki saying maybe 420 is actually the French April Fools. I don't think it is. But that would be amazing. Could you imagine if there was like a video of Nicola at the end of the day and he's like, just kidding, April Fools? No. Big change. Connor said big changes like this should happen in August before the new season, not when the season's ending. I think that's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that. I feel like we never want changes right before a new season. And then Scosmo, kind of like how they take something away and then reintroduce it as a strategy. Training. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. ZM Star says so rare coins to bypass list or play. For anyone listening, I'm literally just like reading the chat.
It would be some kind of boost, I think. You have to pay for the boost that gets you around lister play.
I kind of love it.
Hey, it allows you to list and play.
Yeah.
Literally just changing the or to an and.
Yeah. Spreadsheet FIFA says the problem for me is no clear communication on where the 5% is going. I disagree. It is going right into Nicola's pocket. I think it's about as clear as possible. Yeah. Obviously, it goes into Dan's pocket too. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah. I think all employees are getting Lambos going forward. It's like the new company car.
Will is getting into your territory here, saying another dip is coming.
Ooh, man, I don't know.
That implies that we are out of a dip somehow.
Yeah, I'd have to do some advanced calculations and market data analysis to really call another dip. So I'll have to get into my basement and run some of those calculations.
My basement. Is that where you mine Bitcoin too?
Yeah, it's where I do all of my like important business down there.
Okay. Looking for food with a positive comment here. I like the idea of some of the fee going to the clubs as a sign of supporting the smaller teams. What if I told you, looking for food, that's always been the case, since they have to pay them? Dream Oblivion says, will it bring better rewards? I have a feeling Sorare is becoming worse and worse. I don't know why it would bring better rewards.
Yeah, like what is the? I don't get that either, because how do you make the rewards are what the rewards are? Like if an Mbappe is worth less tomorrow, then the reward is worth worse.
Yeah.
Can
you sum this update up in one word?
Well, I think that one word is in the title, isn't it?
People.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think it's screw. I think screw might be the word that you were looking for.
I think if you're gonna do it in a word, you actually need two words, and it's go fuck.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mike Batson said Pavel's now going to go up to 145% to cover the fees. Like honestly, if Pavel went up to 145%, he'd get the same business.
Yeah.
Lucas is saying, why is there no more casual league? Is that different than amateurs? Didn't we? I mean, that's been gone for months, right? Victor, I really hope someone else thinks the lister play thing is actually not that negative. Have never felt this disconnected to the rest of the community. Andy loves it. Andy's always looking for more strategy, and now
it's not about strategy.
Oh, is it not? Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. We'll get to it. I just want to catch up on the comments here. Blue Tomatoes, I think, is 100% right on this. Actually, I think Blue Tomatoes is like 80% right. And the comment is, in a month, people will stop talking about the 5% again anyway. I don't even think it takes that long.
Yeah.
Like when NBA launched without the fee, and then 2 weeks in, they were like, oh, by the way, we're going to have a fee. We all did this. We're like, this is ridiculous. You should have done it at the beginning. And then we just move on. Because we know it's not going away. Like, no matter how much we all complain about this 5% fee, it is not going away. So just deal with it.
Unless your cards are no longer on a covered team, not covered team on a.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that. We're just guessing.
That's fair.
Alex Wilson says at least the new series of Beavis and Butthead is out to take the edge off. Didn't even know that was coming, but you do you. Metal Gear says they can cancel your training lineups now, which was always the case if your card sells. So those boosts came in handy. They bait you to buy more training teams, and you can't train the players you want to sell. Pure genius. That is always the rule. Like, your training lineups were always canceled if you sold a card in your training lineup. Andy, what do you think about this comment from Mike Baston that surely Zora did not know about this?
I think Zora's behind the whole thing.
I think so
personally,
too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Charlie Dunbar, think we all know the doubling of the threshold was funded by the future prospect of the 5% tax. I don't think that's true either. Mike Basson, own your game is now only when Sorare lets you. I'm sorry that I'm like giggling about all of these, but I think they're great. I just love passionate responses to things like this. Blue Tomatoes list and play sounds a bit strange to me, but probably will reduce the supply. Just not sure how much it affects it. I might just have to skip these because it's going to be the entire show is just going to be me reading this. So Andy, tell me why you like list or play.
Well, I never said I liked it. I just don't think it's as bad as we might think it is, or some people might think it is. I think it's probably good for whales, like myself, because there's cards I don't use in the game week, and I can just list those cards, and it doesn't affect me at all. So the cards I'm not playing are probably the cards I was going to list anyways, and I can list them. There's less competition now because the cards that I'm listing, other people won't be able to list. So instead of there being 4, I don't know, Michael Bradley's on the market, now maybe there's only 1 or 2. So there's less supply that's actually being sold. I might be able to sell that card at the price that I have it listed at now versus him trying to lowball me. I say no, him lowballing 3 other people, and somebody else says yes now. Now my card doesn't sell. The floor of Michael Bradley has now dropped. I think there's a case that like the floors of some of these players comes up. I talked to PSU fans, Sean, and he mentioned cards like Joshua Kimmich, Lionel Messi, Mbappe. Nobody will ever list those cards anymore. That you will not see them listed on the market because if you list it on the market, it kills your lineup. And like typically those cards are in my best lineups. Those lineups usually have a chance. So when am I going to make the choice to sell those cards? Messi right now doesn't have midweeks, so I guess I could try to sell him in the midweek. But as soon as the weekend rolls around, I'm delisting that card, and now he's in a lineup. So I think like premium cards floors are certainly going to rise.
I do this.
The other thing is what's that?
This comment from ZM Star that kind of plays along with this is the big complaint on the lister plays. If your player gets injured in the game, you're not going to list the player because it kills. But so that only happens if they're having a good game. Like if they get hurt in the middle, like early in a game,
the lineup's
probably dead anyway.
So
but it is kind of a bummer if I was talking to Harry and Sam about this, and it's like if your player like is on a 90 and you're watching a game like tears his ACL, do you list the card? You already got the 90.
I mean, it depends on the rest of the lineup. If somebody else already,
I'm saying like if the lineup is doing well, then obviously,
then you're not listing the card.
Metal Gear, your live training lineups did die if you sold a card.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I take that back. That was before the new training lineups, so maybe that changed when they
I don't know
started the 3. But like when we used to have unlimited training lineups, like the live ones died.
Yeah, and Victor says it really well here. I don't think it's only good for whales. To be honest, if you are a player with just 5 cards and you realize your team won't get rewards this game week, there are less managers willing to sell their cards. So, it definitely reduces the amount of competition and selling pressure on cards.
That was the point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That has to be the point.
For sure. And I do think, though, there are people that play the game in different ways, and this does affect people that play the game in certain ways, like people that flip cards or they buy cards and only use them for 1 or 2 game weeks. It definitely negatively affects those types of users. That's not the type of user I am, so it doesn't. That's why I'm less mad about it or not mad about it, and other people might be, because it definitely has a different effect on different people.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. some people in chat, I forget, apologies because I can't find the original one, but somebody was saying that you should, instead of killing the lineup, the player that you sell just gets 0 points. So, yeah. But like, I guess for that off chance that your 4-player lineup is able to score enough with four scores to win a reward. Morris was saying, can't you get around paying the tax by getting the buyer at a limited player or something to make it a trade? It's going to be 5% on any ETH that's included. So if you have like a National Series card in 1 ETH, it's going to be 5% of 1 ETH. So no.
But if you're doing a pile deal where you're throwing in 2 or 3 cards to like offset the ETH price, then yeah, it'll lower the amount that you're quote unquote taxed on.
Right. Which, by the way, was the topic we were going to talk about today, was card trading, which maybe we'll still get into. Sorry, I'm still just trying to get through this chat. I love how busy it is. Paraskill says, what's with a player that I scouted well and put in a lineup randomly scores 100? I can't sell my player in the hype then, because if I do, my lineup is dead. So you can sell a player. You're choosing list. Yeah. Is the part of the game.
The strategy.
List or play, you're choosing list. Looking for food just said, doesn't everyone build their teams 1 hour before lock anyway? Just take them off the market then. The problem is after the game week starts. Yeah. It's during the game week that is the problem.
I guess there's more details to it as well, but like I assume when does the game week actually lock? Is it when the next one starts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess you really can't play around with that.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for somebody to have some positive thing to say about this.
I just did.
I'm waiting for anybody else. I do like this comment from Jonathan. I don't understand own your game, but you're not allowed to sell when you want. You can sell whenever you want.
Yeah.
List or play does not stop you from listing. Moore said, do you think ETH from the tax will be distributed more to expand? No, I'm not even going to read the rest of it. I don't think we're going to see any evidence that money from the fee is going to anything. It's not our business.
Surface mentioned another benefit of this is that it gives more incentive to flip now. So alternatively, that's good for those that play SO5. Like this might kill Powell's SO5 entries, which is good for the rest of us. Do you think Powell even bothers submitting lineups now? Do you think he will?
Yeah, because I don't think the lineups mattered anyway.
Like he wasn't putting time and research into it. He was just submitting based on L15 or something.
Maybe the Sorare data suggested lineup feature.
Yeah. Germ said, like, I don't think play by our rules, but we're already playing by their rules. They just changed the rules.
Yeah. I don't know. Jonathan B said Cap 240 is literally about buying cards for a game week. Very counterintuitive. I don't think that's
not
true.
For me, baby.
Yeah. I don't do that either.
I think we're probably special cases, but
we are. Yeah. Oh, Sorare makes a good point. A killed lineup means no Sorare coins. So that pushes me more to the 0, like that player scores 0. But I also have 0. That was not a nice way of what I was about to say. I don't think Sorare could handle 4-player lineups.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Pretty sure they can't, right? As of right now?
No, you cannot. X-Roth said, I really wonder how this would affect the NBA market when they introduce it as well. NBA is a much more dynamic market where injuries and peaks are more, and these two are conflicting. I agree. I think So the only difference with NBA is that the game weeks end before the next one starts. So there's like a 6 to 8 hour window that maybe is just like absolute chaos. Like every card on the platform gets listed in that 6 hours, and then everyone's quickly, as fast as you can click in your training lineups, you're just canceling your live offers. So Mark says, the more I think about it, the changes counteract each other. The fee is to try and capitalize sales on the secondary market, because obviously if there are more secondary market sales, they get more fees. But then list or play acts as a deterrent to listing cards.
Yeah.
And JVic says, like and subscribe, your comment is canceled. Shout out JVic. Yeah. Alex says, to list it as strategic element is the biggest load of nonsense. I think it's really funny that they said that. Like what is the actual line here? Hold on.
It was like the worst attempt to like spend something that you knew people weren't going to love and try to spin it as a positive. It was like, come on.
Oh, I didn't see this. Please note this new list or play rule only applies to Sorare football. We will monitor and evaluate its impact for potential expansion to other sports in the future. I missed that. So if you really want to sell a card, you can't play it and can train it. Great. That is correct. You are choosing to sell. What do you think about the strategy of if you're sitting second in a competition and you submit an offer for one of the cards in the players who's in first place's lineup?
I don't think that that's actually going to be a strategy.
I think that's a bigger strategy than list or play.
I guess it would be more along the lines, because if you had one of those lineups where, I think a guy had one last week where like the highest card in his lineup was worth like 0.1 or something. And like, what if I send him a 1 ETH offer for that card because I want to play the Mbappe roulette? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Sure.
Like I'm paying 1,000% more than the card's worth just so that I can get the podium, or so I can get first place, I guess.
Yeah.
I just don't think people will do it because the amount you have to overpay will be the
But why do you think it's an overpay?
Well, because you have to pay for enough for the card, pay enough for the ETH that's on the podium, and pay for at least part of what you think the prize might be or might be worth. Because the person that's going to sell the card is going to get nothing. They will get zero. So you have to like cover the cost.
Well, they get the proceeds of the sale. Minus 5%.
You're going to have to overpay by so much. Nobody will do it. It is absurd.
I think you're expecting people to list their cards for like unusually high amounts before the game. Like, I think you're trusting that people know what they're doing. I'm saying, like,
I thought you meant send an offer on a card that's not for sale.
Oh, no. Well, sure, you could do that too. But also, it's like, I'm sure there are people who are like, oh, yeah, that's more than I bought it for, or yeah, that's higher than the floor price. Sure, I'll sell it, and not have no idea that they are killing their lineup.
So Rascal just said, how do people not understand? Your lineup is canceled if you list, not if you sell. Not if you receive an offer, sell via received offer. So I don't know 100% if that's true. It sounds like Rascal seems pretty convinced that that's the way that it is, though. So
you can...
I think we need more clarification.
So I'm just going to read... all right, I'm just going to read these two paragraphs because this is where it will both clear it up and not clear it up at all. This only applies to managers who initiate sales or trades. So that's probably it. If you get an unsolicited offer, not those who receive offers, if or when they accept. So you have to list the card. Or you have to propose the card in like a trade or something. So once a sale or trade transaction is complete, meaning a sale or trade transaction that you initiated, any live lineups featuring that card or cards are invalidated. So I think that answers it. Thank you to everybody. A few people in chat are saying this. Once you sell it,
surely
cancel.
We'll get clarification on this. Surely.
Morris said Dan confirmed it's on the list cards. If you list your cards, you get 2 warnings to say your lineup will be canceled. But apparently, it's also a trade offer. And Germ, so I can't. So yeah, what if you counter? I think countering means you're offering the card.
I was thinking earlier about weird.
I love this.
Like weird stipulations where like maybe you have 2 of the same card, and you want to sell one of them, but one of them's in a dead lineup and one of them's in a good lineup, and you'll have to like double and triple check the serial numbers of the cards and which lineups they're in, and I don't know. I do think it's guaranteed to happen. Somebody is going to be like within the first 2 months, somebody's going to have a podium reward, and they're going to list a card on accident and just click right through all of the messages, and they're going to lose out on their reward because they're going to screw up.
It's not even a podium. Somebody's going to be in line for a tier 5, and they're going to do it, and they're going to be like, "What?"
But that's less funny or disastrous or however you want to term that. Somebody is going to do it with like they are winning Mbappe, and they hit through all of the buttons, and now they get nothing.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to catch up on the chat here of people who keep going back and forth on this. Like, you have to sell the card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess, and what we said, this counter offering is definitely you initiating an offer. Like, I think that's how it works in the system. And so I think that would kill the lineup. Classic Sorare of making something very clear and us having 85 questions. Scosmo says, can we please go back to working on the important changes like dark mode?
I think a lot of people want to talk about the Smurfs collaboration. The Sorare Smurfs collaboration. You don't want to talk about that?
It's not. I want to clear up what Hoodwink says, though. Hoodwink said, I don't know if it's been mentioned, but if your player isn't listed and you sell them, it's all good and won't cancel. So this is true if it's a received offer and you accept that. If you start, so that's going to be like, you're going to go back to Discord. It's actually going to kill the counter offer, because it's like, I will accept this offer if you give me this. And now instead of counter offering, because now I'm offering my card up. Thank God, because I was worried we were going to move away from Discord. Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, the Smurfs?
Yeah, Smurfs. Big Smurf guy over here.
Colonel Dickweed here, selling cards and withdrawing ETH. People do this.
Colonel Dickweed's on fire. Every episode, he's got a good comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tom Brimson, excuse me. Are we expecting any shenanigans from? Yes, I don't even know what. I have to read the rest, but yes, I'm expecting shenanigans.
Read the rest of it. Yes,
from people trying to get them to send offers, etc., take them out of a reward with no intention of actually buying the card. Yeah, yes, I do.
And they'll get all their friends to participate too. I'm sure.
Yeah. Metal Gear, they're literally killing their previously implemented updates. Counter offers 7-day listings. I agree. Risu is asking who your favorite Smurf is.
Papa Smurf for sure. I mean, it's him or Smurfette, right?
Now we all have to play like Jimmer.
It's true. It's true. We all have to play like Jimmer.
Should we just call this a Jimmer rule?
Yeah.
Like, I had this great lineup, but the Jimmer rule got me. I ended up listing him.
Yeah. Or, I used to only have a gallery of 24 cards, but now I have 176 because of the Jimmer rule.
Tommy B said anyone with a podium is going to get swarmed with offers. Yeah. That's great. That's all we wanted, more offers, right?
If I get to a podium, I'm just not going to log in for like, until I'm opening the reward.
Smart.
Like, I don't get tempted.
Ross here is sitting saying he's more confused now than when he read the announcement. Yeah, see, I love the strategy looking for food to kill other people's teams. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Laney with the ultimate like random, we're talking about all this important stuff, and what do you think about Dom Dwyer back to SKC?
Dom's back, baby. I'm actually surprised Dom's still in the league.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like there's a lot of competition there already. I don't know. I guess he's going to be off the bench for 10 minutes a game or something.
It's a name I haven't heard in a while. That's all.
Guzan back in net. Poor Guzan.
Me too, Alex.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Poor Laird. This is super rare and rare Brad Guzan's.
Yeah.
How long do you think they talked about calling it the list or play rule? You think they got like somebody was like, how about list or play? And they were like,
I think whoever it was, like I said, they were at Dave & Buster's and they got the combo that they offer there. And he was like, oh, now I know what to name our new feature or our new strategy that's coming out soon.
Jack is saying, with those offers, wait until the rewards are in and quickly accept the offer the moment rewards land to take the higher offer. I don't even know what that means, but I don't know.
The French version of Dave & Buster's? I don't know. I think the only person in chat that might be French, maybe, is it Peru?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I pronounced that right. We'll have to get a response from somebody on that.
Mm-hmm. I can ask internally. That would be a very important server data topic.
Yes, for sure.
This is Alex's attempt.
Sure.
Surely Mike Baston knows. I think he spoke a little French. Were those two things? I actually really liked that the announcement yesterday, they were like, here's our roadmap. We're going to introduce market fees at some point. And literally the next day, they're like, hey, they're here.
Yeah.
Actually,
they're not here yet.
They're not here
like
yet.
Another, what, week?
2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
Or,
2 weeks.
Yeah. See, we're fine.
You
guys are so dramatic.
There's some marketplace stuff coming, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I guess we could talk about the whole roadmap, right? That's what people are here for.
Oh, yeah.
Do we care about the roadmap? Pull it up here. We can all just look at it together. So how do you feel about this second thing on the list coming before the first thing? I know you're not really interested in the J League cards.
No, I think it's too
much?
No, you're good. I mean, you always start with positive news, right? And that part of like communication 101. Start with the positive news.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of which, today did they start with positive news? They were like introducing market fees. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a.
I think when you have no positive news, you just lead with what you got.
You just go, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, the share marketplace updates, including plans for introducing a secondary market fee. And it's almost, they didn't like bury the lead there, but they were like, so we have two things. Which one is the least likely to get people pissed? And they're like, let's go with the fee. We'll do that first.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that they are committed, or they will commit, to maintaining the ETH threshold?
I think it's good. I thought that they were going to get rid of thresholds like a long time ago. I didn't think that was going to be something that they committed to. So cheers to them for keeping it in there. And yeah, I think that's great.
I think it's weird, not weird, but I can't think of a kind of like there's never a good time for the market fee. I can't think of any situation where they can get rid of the threshold and it be okay.
Yeah, at this point now they've like built so much around it. They need to be committed to it.
Yeah. So Surface brought up this next point, which is on the list, which didn't have its own emoji bullet.
Yeah.
But the new double game week rule, which I was very excited about. Not excited, but like I appreciated that until Quinny ruined it for me.
Oh.
Which is funny because Quinny doesn't ruin anything. Actually, you know what? Stish might. It was on end product. One of them ruined it.
Okay.
So the double game week rule, meaning you get the highest, it's best ball now, you get the highest score of the 2 games in the game week, not the ridiculous, like, did they play or were they on the bench, whatever it was. Part of the reason they went, or one of the updates that they had, like the timing of it was when the K-League stuff happened, where they were like, we're not going to have live K-League stats. And so they mentioned on end product, and if anybody doesn't listen to the end product pod, you should. It's excellent. They also stream live every Thursday.
Oh, I know what you're going to say now.
On Twitch. So they're like, hey, you get the higher of the 2 scores. And I don't remember if it was Quinny or Stish, but they were like, the problem is that the second game is always right near the end of the deadline. And so you're not going to get all around scores for the second game. And I brought this up and everyone was like, yeah, but like if your player didn't do well in the first game and then they like bag a decisive in the second. And I'm like, but now they have to. Like if they have an 80 all around, we won't get it.
Yeah.
And so it's like
I think the other possible positive spin there could be if they do fix the issues with K-League's Opta people or whatever, then you do get the best score of the 2. But I think you're 100% right, or Stish or whoever it was, 100% right there though. That second game is always on 4 hours before the deadline or something. You're not getting that data.
Yeah. Surface is saying it's better for international play. It's the right rule. Like when Nathan Ake had that like 103 AA game and it didn't count because he played earlier in the game week. Like, yes, all of you people with your international players will benefit from it. But the K-League, like, I was really excited. It was the first time I think ever listening to the End Product podcast and they said something and I was like, that's a little bit of a downer because I just feel good listening to that show. Anyway. Nanzo said Lister play is overcomplicated, unnecessary crap that serves only to screw card owners. Talk about solving problems no one has.
Yeah.
But it's strategy.
I think overcomplicated and unnecessary are a good way of describing it. Like nobody was really begging for that feature or functionality.
Begging, but was anybody even asking?
But it could have positive unintended consequences for someone like me. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know what the point was. Like that's the way I
supply on the secondary market is
like right. And if that was really the point, this is a terrible way to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's also probably it's probably the only way they can do it because the whole own your game, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Is still there. Like you can still sell your card whenever. And the rules are like whenever there were like loan shenanigans or all this other stuff, like they can't take your cards away. But they can stop you. Well, yeah. Well, you probably get that. But they can stop you from playing SO5, and that's when everyone gets upset. So that's all they're doing.
Morris says that Dan said the Lister play is part of a bigger update coming in the new Europe season. God knows what it's linked to. Yeah.
That made it worse.
There's going to be another or in there.
Yeah.
It'll be list or play or something else.
So where Josh made the point, they wouldn't have done this before they went on Nellis's podcast and Nicola went on the Sorare Data one. Good point. So anyway, mystery jerseys in the club shop.
Cool.
That's fun.
Yeah. And it's funny, we talked about this in a side chat, but that's probably the only real way that they could have done this, because everybody's going to want the Liverpool jersey, everybody's going to want the Man U jersey, but how are they going to get rid of their, second tier La Liga jerseys? Well, you just make it mystery jersey and you get what you get.
Yeah. I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Mike Baston here. List or play or go fuck.
Love it. Love it.
That should have been the title of the show. Right there. Yeah. So where were we? Mr. Jerseys improves social sharing functionality, so managers can more easily share links to their Sorare teams with friends and on social media. Do you think?
I think we all know how to take screenshots. So
I think they're jealous. Not jealous. Maybe they are jealous of how many people share their Sorare data lineup, like their lineup with the app, and they're like, "Wait, we can do that."
I'll be honest, I don't even do that. I just use the snipping tool or the screenshot tool and resize it, and sorry, I don't use your functionality.
Do you know why you should use it? Because when you send the lineup, when you snip it like that, it doesn't say it's your lineup. Nobody knows it's yours.
Yeah. Also, nobody cares about
because somebody's named Dick in there.
Nobody
That's the only
cares
reason they know
about your fantasy team, Laird.
What's that?
Said nobody cares about your fantasy team.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Enhance the manager assistant feature with new educational tasks. Sounds like work. To facilitate gameplay, education, and progression. There is no way that sentence was written by a human being.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? Enhance the manager assistant. What is the manager assistant feature? Is that something now?
Have you ever seen Clippy in Microsoft Word? So maybe they have a little Clippy that's coming into Sorare, and he's going to be like, hey boys and girls, don't set your lineup with whatever. I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be some ridiculous functionality like that.
Windows 95 has come to Web 3. Everyone in chat is like, Windows, they're too young to know that.
I think Clippy is still around. I think
really?
You can enable Clippy if you want.
I didn't. I haven't used a Microsoft product in a long time.
Weird.
Let's see. Yeah, I think a lot of people like the mystery jersey. I like it too. I think it's fun. Risu. I love Clippy. There you go. Oh, Chat GPT for Sorare. There we go.
Ooh, Papa Smurf is going to be the manager assistant. Let's go.
There we go. It looks like you're trying to sell your gallery. Would you like me to contact Pavel? This is great. Okay. I'm in on manager assistant features of new educational tasks to facilitate gameplay, education, and progression. What is that? Outline plans to introduce card bonuses in capped modes ahead of the Euro season. Andy, what do you think that means? XP, captain?
It sounds to me like they're going to increase the number of points that you need to get the threshold.
Yeah.
So it's going to be capped 240, but now I need to score 260 points?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. But you can have your XP.
It'll be something like that.
Yeah. Manager assistant is going to be Papa Smurf. Yep. Assistant to the manager.
Ooh, I like that.
There you go.
A little office reference.
Expand the club shop so it becomes a key part of a manager's Sorare journey by offering real life items like jerseys, tickets, and once in a lifetime. Didn't we know that already?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How do you feel about a Web3 fantasy football game being a key part of your life?
They don't say that, do they?
No, not really. Just
part
your
of a
manager's Sorare journey. Improve the marketplace tools to help managers more easily identify and add optimal digital player cards to their lineups. Like a 5% fee.
That sounds like Clippy is going to be like, don't buy this card, guys. Buy this one. Yeah.
They did have that already. Like for new, was it in the casual, whatever it was like suggested cards to buy. Remember early on, they suggested some guy who would like just sign with the Saudi Arabia team.
It'll be better though, because it'll be Clippy holding up a giant stop sign and he'll be like, don't do it. And then it'll just like always come back to like Mbappe. Like, this is the guy you want.
It kind of sounds like Mbappe, actually. He has one of those like voices that just doesn't match his body at all.
Yeah.
Like he starts talking and you're like, really? That's what he sounds like? Anyway, enhance our extended onboarding experience so that gameplay and competition progression is more easily understood. Sorry, for new managers as they advance to limited, rare, super rare, and unique competitions. I don't even know what to say. I just laugh at the more easily understood after saying something of extended onboarding experience for gameplay and competition progression.
Yeah.
For more, listen to John Nellis. Seriously. Yeah. So things are looking up.
Where did they say the part that they were only going to do like major changes right before or during the summer or whatever? Was that today or was that in this announcement?
I don't know. I feel like that's something that they usually say.
Yeah.
In random spots.
It was in one of them, I think. And I think that's good.
Have you used the saved search filters yet?
Yeah.
How do you like them?
It's perfect. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have not tried it yet. Mostly because I just never, as weird as it sounds, I never look to buy cards directly on Sorare. Like I don't scroll through Sorare.
So there's two features that basically have allowed me to get all of the STL cards that I want, and it's the filter and the max bid. Without those, I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to win a card. I won somebody the other day. It was like a 4 a.m. auction. I just put in the amount that I was willing to pay and go to bed, and I don't even have to worry about it. It's such a good feature.
Do you feel like you really earned it though by not waking up in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. There's a lot less work into it, but that's fine. I'm fine.
So do you miss the experience of trying to wake up but not wake your wife up in order
to wake the whole family up? Dad's at it again.
Dad with his damn JPEGs again.
Yeah, no, it's good. And it's good for like my mental health and my well-being of not getting up. So the first night they had already had max bid out. So they released max bid and then the MLS came out and I made my mission to get all those ones. And some cards you could put max bids on, some cards you couldn't. It was just, I don't know if it was like the order they were minted in or something. There was some reason some cards didn't have it. So the very first night, there was like 3 cards that I had to wake up for. One was like at 1 a.m., one was like at 4 a.m., and there was another that was like at 6 or something. And I got the first one, and then my alarm went off for the second one. I didn't wake up, and then I missed the card, and I had to go through this spout dealing with a guy that basically did not want to sell me the card. And I ended up overpaying for it and trading the number 2 version of the card for Isaac Jensen, and just paid way too much for all of it. It was absurd. But
so this is everyone? You have everyone?
No, there's still I think like 3 cards I'm missing.
Okay.
So as soon as they're released and I can put max bids on them, I will. Any rate,
this is really cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was fun to do, and it only costed like an arm and a leg to do. So
Yeah, of course.
that was fun.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with Jerm here, though, that your collection will have an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, maybe I'll go in and edit that squad and put a little asterisk in there for Jerm.
Mm-hmm. Just like for full disclosure. Oh, wait, somebody what is this? Dan has clarified that if you receive an offer and sell, it also cancels your lineup, which is definitely not what is written in the announcement.
Surely we'll get this all sorted out.
Mike, I'm going to do off topic tomorrow, but Sean will be back Monday. I'm sure he'll settle down. He is not angry about this. He just thinks it's all very stupid.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think that's like a pretty good take, to be honest, is like, and I think that Nanzo kind of said it, like nobody was really asking for this. I don't think that it's like catastrophic, but it's just kind of dumb.
I think people were asking for the market to settle down, and this is their solution.
Yeah, just shake it up.
Well, it's kind of like if you're like, I don't like my neighbor, I wish they would move. And I was like, oh, okay. And I burn their house down. You like, problem solved.
Yeah. I don't even think it's like that. I think I still agree with what I said earlier, that there's going to be weird consequences, like the prices of certain players are going, like the floor of Kimmich now that he's taking PKs too for Bayern. It's like, what is he worth? And nobody's going to list him. So
there are enough people who trade like premium cards, meaning like buy and sell, not card trade, although they might do that too, that I think you'll still be able to get some of them.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of people, like Nanzo posts tons of his cards. I don't know if he uses them. I don't check, but
now. Well, he does right now.
Right. That's what I mean now. Yeah. But now
will he be doing that in 2 weeks?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maxime is actually off. Saturday, I believe, is his birthday. If anybody wants to send him a nice message on Twitter that he won't get.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know if he knows about this yet.
Is he celebrating today?
Risu, solution is to have 2 of every player.
The Jimmer strategy.
Jimmer just wins them all as tier 3s and just waits. Patiently waits in the background.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
he showed me a card the other day that he won as like a tier 4, and it's no. It was one of those cards that he bought based on their SoFIFA thing, like their SoFIFA rating, and they were like 19 years old. I would love to know who it was. I'd have to look back through chat, but now it's like a card that's just smashing every week. The guy's scoring like 80 plus every week. He's a defender and he plays, I think, in Belgium. And it's so annoying when he throws those up at you and you're just like,
well,
FIFA, huh?
I see some of his lineups and I was like, well, who is that card? And then I see he bought it for like 12 cents in 2020. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, this wasn't even one of those. It was like he bought it like a year ago or something. And it's a super rare too, which makes it even more. It's Niels Nkunku, and the cards from he played. I don't even know if he played. He doesn't play on Liège, but the card is with Liège, and his L15 is 64. His L5 is 84.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, it's just.
Was it a rare card?
No, he has the super rare card. Yeah,
of course he does. Let's see this Jimmer. Oh, Nep's got one. There's Jimmer. Oh, he got it last year. That's not so bad.
For 0.08.
For 0.08, yeah. And now the guy just absolutely smashing his face off. Look at that. Decisive after decisive after decisive. Well done. Yeah, okay. I had that Nanzo comment up. Where did it go?
Listing cards is his favorite pastime.
Yeah. But it's also true. You have duplicates of everyone, so.
Yeah. Rascal said, so what if I have a player in a weekend lineup and then I want to sell them for the midweek? I just can't. Well, you can.
You can. You absolutely can.
You can if you choose to play the game of list or what is it, list or
play.
Or if he's
deal
the player's in a dead
no
lineup. If they're in a dead lineup, then yeah, you can sell them, but you lose your SO coins.
Sorare is not stopping anybody from selling their cards. You can sell your cards whenever you want, as long as somebody's willing to buy. So DDJ says, I've made so much money from trading every week and then playing small limited gallery. They're killing the trading aspect. I feel like somebody like you who's made all this money trading will benefit now.
Yeah.
Because now there are going to be fewer cards on the market because people are playing them.
I think his point, though, is that he's done well because he can trade and play. But now he'll have to trade or play.
Right, yeah. Scosmo said there's more strategy, I guess, to not using players in consecutive game weeks, kind of like rotation in real life. See, we're real life managers now, guys. Ever want to be a real life manager? Now you can. With our new game, List or Play.
It's funny because there used to be like in the original design of Sorare. This is like back 5 years ago when when the white paper was out. One thing, there were like some really weird things that they were talking about doing with cards. One of them was fatigue, I believe, where
I remember people talking about this.
If you use a player, 3 game weeks in a row, his bonus would start to drop by 5%, 10%, 15%, and at some point you'd have to rest the card before you could play them again. And once you rested them, they go back to full health, and then you get your full bonus when they come back and play. So yeah, I get it. That would be annoying for a lot of people. But then there was something else too, where the bonus had to do with the number of other people that were playing the same card. So if you played Mbappe, 100% of the people that own Mbappe are probably playing Mbappe. So your bonus would go down by X%. Right. But if you were playing a card that was like either had low supply or just nobody was using this card, he's some backup, but for some reason that he's starting this weekend, or maybe he's the backup goalkeeper and that he's starting, your bonus would be higher because I forget what they called it, like a stardom something, but it was in the original white paper for the game, and I don't think that they ever implemented either of them.
Those sound terrible. I'm glad they didn't do that.
I still think fatigue would be cool, but
List or Play sounds so much better.
Yeah.
The fatigue thing that bothers me just because I feel like we've been trained so much to like use our cards as much as possible to get XP, and now they're like, hey, don't use that.
Right. Well, you bought Messi to play Messi every week. Not
I did.
So that you could rotate him and not use him in a bad matchup. And then you find out that the bad matchup wasn't really a bad matchup and he banged in 4 goals and now you're crying.
Correct.
But it doesn't it does I will say it. You want to talk about introducing strategy into the game. That is something that actually introduces strategy because you have to make those types of decisions. And when will I rotate Messi, or is Messi with a 75% of his score still better than the forward options that I have?
That's not the strategy anybody really wants.
I mean, it hurts you, yes, but it hurts everyone else too. So I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I'm off the deep end, I know.
It's just that not that there's enough strategy in this game because there are always like things they could do. This is not a strategy, List or Play.
What if you could buy a boost that healed your player so that they didn't have fatigue for that game week?
But we do that anyway. Like XP just gives you the boost anyway. I don't need that. Get out of here.
You put the Band-Aid on the player, and now he's good. He's ready to roll.
No. Fatigue. Yeah, there you go. Nanza. These announcements are causing fatigue.
Yeah.
Jonathan's saying I can't see any more liquidity coming in. Isn't that the point? Weren't we supposed to reduce, or at least we're trying to reduce everybody selling, undercutting each other? Andy, are you keen to add ETH into Sorare right
now? I put ETH on last night.
How you feeling about that today?
I don't know. Whenever I bought the Berkey Super Rare, I had to put ETH on for it. So
yeah.
Just got to keep plowing money in, man.
I think that's the solution for sure. Just keep buying more cards.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to stop us because, like, you're at work. So
you have to work,
but so am I. I'm at work. I'm literally working right now.
Oh, did you say I have to work?
I said you were at work. I didn't actually say you have to work. God knows
I do have to work, unfortunately.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Also, thank you to Sorare for allowing us to completely change the topic while not having to change the title of this. I'll probably have to change the description. But if you all could please like the video, that's always really helpful. And really, if it becomes some like hugely viral video, maybe Sorare, everyone at Sorare will watch it and just take back everything that they said. That's what happens, right? Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow for Off Topic. I doubt I talk about this, but maybe I will. Who knows? And then strategy show.
You're talking about it.
I'll talk about it. No, we'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, I'll put money on it.
Thank you to everybody, and we'll see you next week.